This evening we'll be honoring this incredible group of people who for the last 50 years have given selflessly of themselves so that we may become better and better versions of ourselves every day. The Christian brothers have inspired us, supported us, pushed us, and have gone through great pains to understand and develop us as individuals.
Because of you, dear brothers and teachers, we have a strong sense of self-worth and values. Because of you, we know that education is more than percentages printed on our report card. It is the values that you live and have passed on to us that make us proud ex-pupils of this school.
And so today, we have the honor of walking down memory lane to recognize, to appreciate, and to thank the Christian brothers who have and will always be a big part of our hearts and minds. They're about to make an entrance, so I would request all of you to rise to your feet and let's give them an old-fashioned Salvation School applause.
Thank you, brothers, sisters, all our ex-teachers for coming here today. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to see all of you all here. So, we proceed. A famous Irish poet, whose name I cannot pronounce, says, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire." And so we begin this evening's ceremonies with the lighting of the ceremonial lamp. I would like to call upon Brother Steve Fernandes, the Provincial for the Christian Brothers in India, Father Bartol Machado, Parish Priest at Our Lady Salvation Church, Brother Sebastian George, current principal of the school, to come forward and light the lamp to commence this evening's program. May I also request Father Jervis D'Souza and Mr. Glen Saldanha, our ex-pupil, to join them. Please, let's have a round of applause for them.
We'd like to begin with a video message from Cardinal Oswald, Gracias, who would have loved to be here in person but is away on work in Rome. The Cardinal specifically wanted to deliver this message in the spoken word to the brothers and teachers whom we're felicitating today.
My dear friends, I wish I could have been present for this felicitation program, but unfortunately I am in Rome. I have meetings with the Holy Father, so I cannot join you in person. So I wish to connect with you through the means of this video recording. It was in June 1940 that Monsignor George Fernandes, the late George Fernandes, had begun the school, Our Lady of Salvation School in Dadar, for the benefit of the poor students who don't otherwise have an opportunity for good education. Monsignor Vaz, who succeeded Monsignor George, consolidated the foundations on which George had built, and later on, it was in September 1967 that Cardinal Valerian Gracias invited the Christian brothers to take over the management of the school and the running of the school. But they had different places where the school was run, different situations, and finally Monsignor Pereira was the one who built the school in the present location. Once the Christian brothers took over the school, there was no looking back. They overcame every difficulty: lack of proper space, lack of facilities, lack of funds, lack of teachers. One by one, they overcame these obstacles and they built up the foundation for a very good school, one of the best in the area. It got good academic results, good results in sports activities, and the opera, the annual opera, became one of the big cultural events of the year for that area. Today, as we are bidding farewell for our Christian brothers, I have a sense of sadness because we are ending our association with them and they are moving out. I do understand the difficulties they have and the reasons for their moving out, moving away from Dadar. But I do pray that God blesses them with good vocations, success in the works that they begin. I do also pray that the archdiocesan institutions and teachers and staff who will take the responsibility for this school will continue in the high traditions of our Christian brothers. I'm sure they'll keep the high standards which have been laid down, raise them even more. I do pray that one day the Christian brothers will come again to resume their contact with us. God bless you and have a nice evening.
We now welcome on stage the students of the batch of 2015 and 16. They will be performing a prayer dance, the song Every Move I Make. Please join me in welcoming Sydney, Arnold, Alex, Mervyn, Norvin and Kevin.
Na
we would like to call upon stage Mr. Pierre D'Souza, who is an ex-pupil from the class of 1980, to present a tribute to the brothers and retired teachers.
A very good evening to all of you, and a warm welcome. We are all here today to celebrate with hearts full of gratitude for the selfless and relentless service rendered by the Christian brothers and our beloved teachers over the past 50 years to this, our school, our second home, and to bid them farewell with deep sadness. Their dedication, determination, and discipline ensured that every student performed to his full potential, and most importantly, grew up to be a good human being. Their exemplary example made our journey easy. I will now read out a tribute of love from the ex-students of Our Lady of Salvation. The golden years. Angels are forever. They descended in Dadar like the proverbial dove, full of compassion, passion, and love. They came from the Irish Christian Brothers congregation to educate and empower the marginalized, their mission. Today, in us they see the fulfillment of their endeavor. Angels are forever, yes, angels are forever. To educate, instill values, and discipline, they took the oath. Just like our parents, they were instrumental in our growth. Not only did we learn ABC from the brothers, but they taught us kindness and empathy for others. For the academically challenged students, they were a savior. Angels are forever, yes, angels are forever. They gave aid and amenities to the needy, thus providing them succor freely. They came, they saw, they conquered. To have them as our teachers, we were honored. They fought against all odds, but never said never. Angels are forever. Yes, angels are forever. To let you go, dear brothers, we must, though our hearts are in pain. So long, brothers, till we meet again. With a smile on our lips, a tear in our eye, with God's choicest blessings, we bid you goodbye. Our angels forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Pierre. It is my privilege to announce our next speaker, Mr. Glen Saldanha. Mr. Glen Saldanha is the chairman and managing director of Glenmark Pharmaceuticals Limited. He joined in 1998 as their director and took over as managing director and CEO in 2001. During his tenure, he transformed Glenmark into a truly global organization with a revenue of over $1 billion and presence in over 80 countries. Glen holds a bachelor's in pharmacy from Mumbai University and an MBA from the Leonard Stern School of Business, New York University. But lastly and most importantly, he is an ex-pupil of our school from the batch of 1985. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Glen Saldanha on stage.
Wow, good evening, friends. gives me phenomenal memories to come back to the school. So I think, I've already been introduced in terms of who I am. So I run Glenmark, pretty large company, 14,000 employees worldwide, and we've had a lot of success. But I want to go back to my formative years. I had a unique opportunity of studying here in Our Lady of Salvation. I'm a Dadar boy originally, and I spent 3 or 4 years in the school from my 7th grade till the 10th standard. During those years, those were the formative years for me, and I was able to learn a lot and gain a lot out of the school. I owed a lot of it to the Christian brothers. So I had an opportunity to study under Brother Judge, Brother Stanmeyer, Brother Gaffney, and Brother Miranda, and of course Brother Lobo was my principal. It was just phenomenal. I picked up a lot of lessons from the Christian brothers, namely the discipline, right? I was amazed at the level of discipline that the Christian brothers had, the level of humility that they were able to exhibit, huge lessons for us. And I think a lot of that, the discipline, the humility, the humbleness, the generosity, great life lessons. And I think, what I am today, I owe a lot to the Christian brothers in terms of what they've been able to impart to me at a very young age. Because I think those are the years where they're the formative years for any student or any individual. And if you get the right kind of grounding in those formative years, you can really go places. So, this is a very special occasion. I'm sad to hear that the Christian brothers are leaving the school. I personally think it's going to be a big loss for the school because of their commitment, their passion, and what they've been able to give to the school. But they've been phenomenal, and they've helped the school and myself achieve a lot in life. So I'd like to take this opportunity to wish the Christian brothers the best, and I'm sure our paths will cross, and I'm sure they'll continue to stay in touch or help in any way. Knowing them, they'll continue to stay engaged with the school and help in any way they can in the future. So again, it gives me great memories to come back to the school, to meet some of the teachers, Violet and many other teachers who helped me get to where I am. And I owe a lot to the Christian brothers in the school. I wish you all the best, and have a great evening, all of you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saldanha. The Edmund Ignatius Rise Hymn. Can you put your hands up? Who all know this song? Who all know this hymn? No one? Yes, so I'm going to hear the brothers sing. Please put your hands together for Aston Dicula and Justin D'Souza from the class of 2014 as they will be performing this hymn.
Join in clapping your hands. It will be more better. There was born a man long ago. He heard his father calling him, but how can I help? Oh, how may I lend a hand? Just look around you and you know these are the young ones with no place to go, no money for an education, so they miss out. But Edmund gave all he had and started a school, a place to learn in the faith of God. Edmund Ignatius rise. Today we celebrate your life. You were
Sebastian, Justin, and Sean for accompanying them on the guitar. The next address, I would like to invite Brother Steve Fernandes on stage. Brother Steve is originally from Mangalore. He's an ex-pupil of our school in Bajpe, St. Joseph's School. He spent a large part of his ministry in Mandal, Gujarat. He's also been a formator at the novitiate in Bhopal and the deputy provincial in the last province leadership team. He took over as the provincial for the Christian Brothers in India in 2014. May I request all of you to give a warm welcome to Brother Steve Fernandes.
Reverend Fathers, brothers, teachers, parents, and very specially ex-students of Our Lady of Salvation School. Good evening to all of you. I stand here this evening on behalf of all the brothers, my heart full of gratitude for the 50 wonderful years we have spent here, especially here in this institute. As I see it, we are not here to mourn the leaving or moving away of our brothers from this institute. We are here to celebrate the relationships we have built and nurtured here. We are celebrating wonderful examples of collaboration, cooperation, and teamwork. What has been achieved here is a contribution, dedication, and passion of many hearts, minds, and hands. We are celebrating this here today. I extend my sincere gratitude to all those who have made this possible for us to be here so that we can acknowledge and honor the wonderful spirit of this place. Thank you all for being here today to honor your teachers, the brothers who assisted you in your initial stages of your journey. We remember all those who wanted to be here but cannot be here today. I would also like to remember all those fathers, teachers, students, brothers, parents who have moved on to their eternal reward. The hallmark of this place is the support the brothers have received here from all the teachers, parents, students, ex-pupils, and the people of Dadar. We could not have achieved what we have achieved here without your support and goodwill. As we move from this institute, my humble request to all of you to continue to shower your goodwill support to the next administration as well. The motto of OLS puts before us the ideals of striving for greatness. Let this be our guiding light. Thank you for being here today. Continue to remember us in your prayers, and we will remember you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Our next speaker is Brother Ferrao, who is a proud ex-pupil from the class of 1997. Brother Samir is currently based in the St. Vincent High School, Asansol. In his current role, he is the vocation promoter of the Christian Brothers in India and travels the country in search of young men who are interested in becoming Christian brothers. Wow! Can we have a round of applause for that? So brother, you know whom to contact if you want to? Yes, and please let them know where they can meet you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not here to tell you what a wonderful work the brothers have done, because you know it from experience. You don't need me to tell you that. I would like to share with you a little bit of my journey of becoming a brother in brief. It was when I was in class 3 that there was a priest in Salvation School who I adored, and I said, I wish I could be like this father, except I don't want to say the mass, I don't want to hear confessions. If I could find something or some way of life where I can be like a priest, but definitely no mass, because I was afraid of standing in front of an audience, and definitely not interested in hearing confessions or anything of that sort. If only there was a way. And 2 years later, when I was in class 5, that's when the brothers really began to teach me as class teachers and subject teachers, that I noticed that, hey, here's a group of men, very similar to priests, but they don't say mass. Wonderful. I've never seen any of these brothers near a confessional. That's great. I hear laughter. And over the next 5 years or 6 years, from class 5 to 10, through my interactions to the brothers, I was privileged to be a part of 4 operas and concerts. I think one of the pictures you saw while Pierre was speaking, I was a little girl in the corner somewhere there. So through my interactions with the brothers, I fell in love with this group of men. And I remember saying, God, this is the perfect answer to my prayers. Here's a group of men absolutely dedicated to you, and I want to be one of them. I want to be just like them. Luckily, in class 10, one of the brothers, the vocation promoter, met me, and I was accepted, and I did my studies with the brothers after my class 10, and I am standing in front of you today. One more thing to my journey was, during my secondary, I didn't see all the brothers come in front in class and teach us, and I wish I could be like that. And in 2014, when I first became vocation promoter, that dream was fulfilled when in July 2014, I forget the date, but July 2014, I went into the class 10s for catechism class, and I talked about the brothers, but I'm sure none of the students realized why I had a smile on my face, because that was a dream that I had seen of myself in 1993 that was fulfilled in part in 2014. And it's been a wonderful journey for me to be a brother, to work with the poor in a tribal village in Gujarat, where Brother Steve was as well, and in Calcutta with the poor. It's been an amazing journey, fantastic. And anyone, if you want to join the brothers, then I'm the guy you meet. So, thank you very much. Enjoy the evening. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Samir. I'd like to call on stage now Father Stephen Fernandes. Father Stephen Fernandes holds the position of the Theologian of Pontifical Council for the Promotion of Christian Unity. That took a lot of breath out of me. He also is the National Secretary at the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India and a visiting professor at the St. Pius Seminary in Goregaon. He taught here for a short while before joining the seminary and has been a priest in the Archdiocese of Bombay for the last 20 years. Again, like with all of our speakers who have come on stage, Father Stephen is also a pupil of our school, and he completed his SSC from here in 1980. So please put your hands together for Father Stephen Fernandes.
So, dear Parish Priest Father Barthol, and the other fathers, sisters, Reverend brothers, in particular, the provincial of the Christian brothers, Brother Steve Fernandes, the Christian brothers who served in Our Lady of Salvation School as principal and staff, the other Christian brothers elsewhere, teachers, staff, retired teachers, ex-students, other staff members, the family of the staff and students, the core team who organized this event, and so many parishioners gathered here, and my dear friends. I am here as the past student of the school and also as a school teacher. I joined this school as student in 1968, just a few months after the Irish Christian Brothers came to Dadar and took over the management and the running of the school. My parents then had taken me out of Don Bosco School in Matunga and put me here for one reason, that is the Christian Brothers, known as great educators worldwide, are now in charge of Dadar, so to say. I clearly remember Brother McPhillamy, the then principal who admitted me after a short interview. He gave me a double promotion at that time, I remember. And Mercy Muzello was my class teacher. I have very fond memories right from those early years. Brother Wilfred D'Souza was our class teacher in Standard 10. That's the 1974-75 batch. It was the first batch of the new SSC with 33 students. It's great joy and happiness. We celebrated with 100% results that year with all great marks. So thanks, Brother Wilfred. It was your amazing dedication, commitment. Throughout these wonderful years there, so much hard work and so much love put into all that was done. Brother Stanmeier was then the principal. He and also commanded great respect with all of us there. The Christian brothers, with their untiring zeal, sacrificed the evenings to conduct extra coaching classes. They would visit the not so privileged in their homes, teach with difficult lighting systems there in the wadis and in the gullies of Dadar. We all knew that. Discipline was their forte. Once I remember I was late to school, just 2 minutes. And the school assembly began, and I was asked to stand by with others who were late. I was thought I was going to get a good beating. Brother Mousley was there. He looked at me and looked at the group, and after the assembly said, 1, 2, 3 and all go free. I said, yeah, I escaped that day. But as you see, discipline was so important. I'd like to mention particularly Mrs. Sissy Mendonça, the headmistress of Our Lady of School. She's called the Lady of Dadar in a particular way. The way she cared for every student of the school and even called us home to coach us, and not only coach us, give us cake and cookies and what more, unforgettable. The brothers would come and go on, of course, official transfers to different places. But what is I like to highlight, their kindness, their generosity, their love, and the human values. Values are not taught, you are caught. The human values that they gave us, each with its own talent, focusing totally on human development. I'd like to mention just a few areas, if you permit me. First was sports. I remember, that 4 houses, you all remember, every Dadar boy remembers that, yellow, blue, green, red. Those 4 houses there, and everyone was encouraged to take part in sports. Then we had the school picnics, extraordinarily arranged, full of life. Then we had, of course, the famous Gilbert and Sullivan operas, Mikado, Pirate of Penzance, Gondoliers, so popular. That time it began with Brother M.D. Curran. He brought up the talents of us simple Dadar boys here, brought to light, along with Marjorie Harrop and Pat Davidson. Summers would come and go, and we used to have, special summer camps there, carom, table tennis, football, and among the many brothers, we used to remember Brother Keane. He used to kick the ball at such great heights, you would remember that. Something that comes to mind. Religion classes were special, taught with much love, zeal. I cannot forget the movies they used to show us of the brothers, especially the founder Edmund Rice in his classes, beautiful prayer services conducted. Last but not the least, the administration and the education skills of the brothers, teaching us day after day, newness, joy, dedication, commitment, bringing out the best in us. the homework they gave us, the revision classes they used to have the next day, and brought up specifically the English language levels of the students, and that brought the school to great fame. Finally, I had the joy of also teaching here at Salvation School, Standard 6 class teacher. I remember the other class teachers there present here. I think Maria's there among them, and also neighboring teachers, Violet and a few others there. For 2 years, 81 to 83, just after I finished my B.Ed from St. Xavier's Institute of Education. At that time, I was discerning whether God was calling me to become a Christian brother or to become a priest. Remember those years. Brother Lenny Lobo was the principal then. I cannot forget. His zeal, dedication, commitment with the teaching staff and also the students. Personally, he encouraged me and guided me in all that I did. Thanks, Brother Lenny, for everything. So much. And with that, I want to say thanks to all of you brothers there for all that you do. I would like to add that it is due to the sincere efforts and dedication of the brothers that all who studied here excelled in various careers, great heights, doctors, engineers and other professions all over the world. I see so many from different countries come here. We remember in a special, and with not only that, with great values, virtues and leadership potentials. That's the hallmark. We remember in a special way all the staff, students and non-teaching staff who passed away, who are no longer with us. Friends, what I have said now is only a drop in the ocean of so many wonderful experiences each of us have with the Christian brothers. Congratulations to you on completing 50 years of outstanding contribution here in Dadar. Now it's time, difficult to say goodbye to you. It's hard to see you go. It is sad for us, as Cardinal Oswald Gracias mentioned. All we can say is, we love you. We'll never forget you and all you did to mold us and shape us. Much of what I have said today, much of what I am today is due to the Christian brothers, and I'm sure I have here Father Jervis, who came to light the lamp, Deputy Secretary of the CBCI. We both came from Delhi for this event, and I'm sure all of you will agree to what has just been said. God bless you, brothers. We assure you of our prayers wherever you are. God has been with you, and He will continue to be with you always. Thank you so much.
Our next act is a dance performance with a troupe that is run by one of our ex-pupils, Diago, from the 1986 batch. They're going to be performing a bunch of classic hits, both danced as duets as well as a group dance. So I let them take over the stage and show you the talent that our school has produced.
Hey, Fonzie. Tengo en esta historia algo que confesar. Ya entendí muy bien qué fue lo que pasó. Y aunque duela tanto, tengo que aceptar que tú eres la mala, que el malo soy yo. No me conociste nunca de verdad. Ya se fue la magia que te enamoró. Y es que no quisiera estar en tu lugar, porque tu error solo fue conocerme. No eres tú, no eres tú, no eres tú, soy yo. Te quiero hacer sufrir a mí. to play. Dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway like a weed, I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with me. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. When the rhythms start to play, hold me close, make me sway. Like an ocean of the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower burning in the breeze, bend with me, sway with me. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me.
Thank you. That was an amazing performance. We still have one more dance that's left to go, but I wanted to take a minute to share something that I found out backstage. Diago and I were chatting, and I said, well, clearly the girls are not from our school, so like, what's the story behind that, and why are you performing? Why are you performing today? And he said, you know, I'm not a performer, I'm a teacher. I took up performing arts because of the opera. And that's the kind of impact that the Christian Brothers and this school has had on students. People have chosen entire professions on the basis of what they experienced here in school. A little bit about Diago. He's a ballroom and Latin dance certified instructor internationally. He's India's first to be certified and is a national champion. All of these folks who you saw on stage have been trained by him and are a part of his academy. Yes, I meant the bit about the girls earlier. They aren't from this school, so I just wanted to clarify that. We're just going to bring up the last performance for the evening from Diago, and then we'll continue with the rest of the program. So let's take it over.
Understand, do your time, shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Well, we had to shake together, knees and weak. I can't see stepping on the hold your feet. Ooh, what do you think of when the house is rocking, baby love? I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I have a little mixed up and all I feel is fine. I ain't a girl, but I know the best. My heart beats so you're scared of me, but damn it, when she touches my hand, the words here I got. My lips are like I'm on a can of top. I'm proud to say that you're mine. I come right along. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. Well, I told this time when I tried to speak, my inside shaking like a leaf on a tree. There's only one cure for this body of mine. That's the hell that girl I'm alone so fire. When she touched my hand, the words here I got. My lips are like I'm on a can of sun. I'm proud to say that she's mine. I call me lover. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I'm all shook up. Please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I feel the fire. Tired of girl, but I know best. My heart beats so you're scared of me, but damn it, when she touched my hand, the words here I got. My lips are like I'm on a can of top. I'm trying to say this is my love, my little lover. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I'm all shook up.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go far across the distance and spaces between us. You have come to show you go near, far, wherever you are. I believe that the heart does go once more. You open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
You don't really wanna walk. Get away from my door.
May I call the entire troupe up on stage to take a bow, please. So while we were figuring out who's who backstage, we did actually manage to discover someone from Our Lady of Salvation School who's a part of this troupe. Talvin Thakur, do you want to step forward? That's a class 8 student from Our Lady of Salvation School. Diago, please take a bow. Our ex-student from the 86th batch. Thank you all.
I have just a few words to say. I think it was in the second standard that I saw my first opera. And for me, it was waiting for the next one to come and the next one. And when I was in the fourth standard, I think it was Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. And I saw students doing cartwheel. And I thought that if I want to be in the opera, I need to learn gymnastics. So the moment I was in the fifth standard, every Thursday I was for gymnastics. And coming from a very poor background, worry boy, I would have never got this opportunity to see what performing arts is, what gymnastics is, if I wasn't in this school. I'm like, the best decision my parents made for me and my brothers was to get us join this school. And it has opened us up so much, and we have learned so much. And the most important thing for me as a dancer is that in school, I was not excellent in studies, but I was always encouraged for my hard work. It was always noticed. Even in gymnastics, I was not the best, but because I practiced for hours together, Tapasa took me for gymnastics for sports day. And this hard work has got me where I am today. I'm very, very thankful and indebted to the school.
That story and so many other stories are what we see sitting around this room today. So let's give ourselves a big hand for taking the legacy of what the brothers did for us to the next level. We now move to the section where we will be felicitating our brothers and teachers. And as I was thinking of what to write as an introduction to this section, I realized it was absolutely impossible to write about this section. Because no matter how much we try, we will never be able to say thank you enough for all the things our brothers and teachers have done for us. And these are very small things that we've taken for granted, but they took a lot of effort. I made a list of all the things that the brothers and teachers did for us that they weren't really required to do, but they went and did anyway. Staying up late and waking up early to mark our papers. And believe me, we really gave them a lot of work as far as marking those papers went. Giving up your afternoons for all of the extra classes. I know I benefited tremendously in class 10 from all of the extra classes in maths and science that the brothers took for us. Here's the toughest one, trying to get us to sing and dance. Sometimes as males, sometimes as females, for the opera, and all at the risk of boys' soprano voices cracking during the show at absolutely the wrong moment. Chasing behind us at the 800 meters heats just before sports day, either pushing us on or sometimes with the help of a large stick, but bottom line was everybody finished. Some finished a little slower than the others, but we all finished. The many things outside the school curriculum that you were willing to do for us, woodwork, paper cutting, calligraphy, music, sports, trekking, collecting and identifying butterflies, which I know that a bunch of my classmates did. The list is endless. You have visited our homes and learned more about our families and ourselves. You have checked in on us during the SSC exams by coming and visiting us at centers. I don't think anyone from any school has done that. And that is something that we will always be grateful for, but this list is incomplete. And so with that as a background, we'd like to kick off the felicitation for the brothers and the teachers. The felicitation will be done by some of our ex-students, so I'm going to call some of those ex-students up here and then individually each of the brothers and teachers. Let's start with Pierre D'Souza. Pierre, if you're around, if I could request you to come to the front of the stage. Okay, may I call upon stage Brother Steve Fernandes? Please give him a round of applause. Brother Len Lobo. You've been mentioned so many times this evening.
Good evening, friends. Today is a day for cherishing memories. So I want to go back to the very day I landed here in Salvation, 1975, in the third week of May. I landed at the primary school. I rang the bell to find it was locked. I was a little lost. Then a young man comes along, next pupil, and he says, "Are you a brother?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "Just a moment, brother." He went into the building. Till today, I haven't figured out how he got into a locked building. But then I learned so much from the boys here at Salvation. They had things to teach me. Anyway, what I always remember was the friendly smile, the readiness to help, and the trust that he imposed on me when I said I was a brother. I could have been a con man parading around as a brother. For so many of us brothers who are here, working in Salvation has been a delightful experience, because never before did I come across a group of young men who were so ready to engage in a variety of activities. They had a hard day. We started school early in the morning. Then when we finished school, there was games at Congress Stadium. Opera practices went on for the best part of 3 months. After that, it was evening study, and some even stayed behind to study on their own. You know, we had a visiting brother who went through and he said, "This is terrible. You brothers are slave drivers. The only time these young people know any freedom is at midnight." And I'll share just one last anecdote. It happened well before I ever landed in Salvation. Brother Fernandes and Brother Wilfred were part of that scene. A mother presented herself at the principal's desk and proceeded to take out an envelope. And she said something like this: "Brother, you know, my 3 sons went through Salvation, and it's made what a fantastic change in the family. This is my son's first salary. I've taken out 25 rupees for a mass to thank God for his goodness and generosity, and I want to give this to you. Continue the Poor Boys Fund and continue to reach out to those most in need." That experience puts Salvation one of a kind. I have worked in so many schools, I have never seen anything to parallel it. So for me today, 50 years of association here in Dadar has been a graced period for us Christian brothers. The trust, the appreciation and the affection that we receive from students, ex-students, parents, and our wonderful teachers is something we'll never forget. God bless you all. I think we have received more than we gave. Good night.
I'd like to call on stage next Brother Placid Hendricks.
Good evening, everybody. The main reason for me coming here this evening is to see through a different lens. I never associated myself with the Christian brothers because I didn't go to a Christian brother school. But my journey as a Christian brother began here in Salvation School in 1976 when I joined the brothers, and after that, Our Lady of Salvation School became my home. There are many significant events in the last 35, 40 years I've been a brother, and surprisingly, or probably coincidentally, it has happened here. I was sent to Africa where I volunteered from Salvation School. Then when I had a surgery a couple of years ago, it was from this very school. But I want to thank the brothers, the teachers and the students for kind of supporting me all along. And I think I got more from Salvation School than what I had to offer. Going back a little before, I had the opportunity of being for the celebration of Blessed Edmund Rice 250th birth anniversary in Ireland. And just like this, before the program began, we were given some time to reflect. And there was I walking on that bridge. You know that Edmund Rice was a wealthy merchant. And suddenly, I was kind of transported into a different world. And what struck me was, there was a man of vision who took a decision, and because of that decision, I was there. And because of that decision, I'm here today and in front of you, and you're all here. So the similar experience, similar kind of feeling came to me today. So all I want to say is, thank you very much, God bless, and I would like to finish up with a prayer. Every time I think of you, I pray for you, and I pray with joy. God bless you.
Thank you, Brother Placid, and thank you, Pierre. I'm going to call Lyndon next. He's also an ex-student, and we'd like Lyndon to felicitate Brother Wilfred D'Souza. Brother Wilfred, if you could have you on stage, please. Up next is a man who said he wants to go and live in a cave early this morning, Brother Noel Dissa. Lyndon, please stay on stage. We'd like you to next felicitate Brother William D'Souza. Brother William was principal when I was in class 6 and class 7, as I discovered this evening. We look a lot different from what we did back then. He still has his hair, I don't. The next ex-student I'd like to call on stage is Mahesh Shetty. Thanks, Mahesh, for being with us. And Mahesh, we'd like you to felicitate the following brothers, starting with none other than Brother Jerome Manuel. Can we get a standing ovation for Brother Jerome?
I'm not going to say much, everything has been said by the brothers. It was a lovely experience to come here, to work with the staff and each of the students. I enjoyed all the extra classes, and I know all the fun and games that went on in the evening after the extra classes when you're supposed to be studying in the classrooms. I know all that happened there, which was good. It was lovely to be working with you all at the operas. And I know Daniel here and many of you were there for all the practices, took important roles and did very well. I enjoyed the operas and experiences working with you all, it was great. And the sports, and my years in Salvation were very enjoyable, very good. Thanks to the cooperation of the teachers, the brothers, and all you lovely students who were part of Salvation School. And to end up to say, salvation is best. Thank you very much.
followed very closely by the man who taught me how to connect resistors in the physics lab at lightning speed, Brother Glen Fernandes.
In coming here after Brother Lenny, because whatever had to be said, he's said, and he's only finished off 49 years and 11 months. I have 1 month to fill in. All I'm going to say is, you know, I think our work over here in Dadar is over. Because when I look around and I see all the successful people, our work is finished. For the simple reason that what has happened is we have turned out very good people. People who are generous, people who are kind, and people who make us proud. Thank you for being that way. God bless.
Next, I'd like to call on stage Brother Earl Miranda. He says everything that has to be said has been said, but we're going to try anyway. Brother Morris Fernandes, may we have you on stage, please. Okay, question to the students. How many of you wished you knew origami? And how many folks knew to play the flute, sing extremely well, and were coached by a fine gentleman named Brother Arthur Rodrigues? If you could have you on stage, please. Brother, would you like to stay back and give us an origami lesson, or perhaps say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. I came here in 2004, and I was on a good wicket here because all these brothers, especially the older ones, had been working here, and they had set the school very well. There was a system in studies, sports, concerts, and everything was almost like a cakewalk. So we didn't have to slog that hard because everything was ready. And at this point, I'd like to remember Joseph, who was a big collaborator with us. I remember many a time Joseph would go late, very late home, because next day is to be sports. He would be ironing the flags, looking after the flagpoles, drill the equipment, all kinds of things. So we had great people like Joe. We had also had teachers who were very good and gave all their time and energy. So our work in these later years was much easier. So I'd like to say thank you, ex-students, teachers, brothers, and present students. Thank you.
Mahesh, thank you. I'd now like to call Alfred Noguera on stage, please. Also an ex-pupil from the batch of 83, sorry, I got it wrong by 3 years. If we could have Brother Joachim Johnson on stage, please. A big hand for Brother Joachim. Brother Sean Vegas. Brother Steve Rocha.
It's my honor to be here, and as I was going through these 50 years of slides that were coming up, lots of memories came back because, as I recalled earlier, I'm almost 48, and I'm glad to know that to note that practically all those 48 years were in some way associated with Salvation School. Right from the time I was born, my mom would have brought me here as a little baby because my elder brother would have gone to KG class. And since then, I've never left this place. In '86, I joined the brothers, and I believe that much of what I'm doing today, and sometimes it's pretty much on the liminal side, is because of what I learned here in Salvation School. I learned equity here. It was guys like brothers like Ben Judge who would have looked after our energy and our vada paos and so on here. I learned inclusion here. It was here that I grew and learned education alongside weak students and the gifted ones, and the Bandra boys and the Mahim boys, and all of us were here together. The nobodies in society found space here, and I learned that salvation is salvation because salvation is always for all. Thank you very much.
The next person I'd like to call on stage is someone I called by first name because he was a year junior to me in school, but today out of respect, Brother Samir Ferrao, may we have you on stage, please. Also known as the recruiter. And last but not least, Brother Sebastian George, may we have you? He promised there would be consequences if I called him up on stage, but we're going to do it anyway. I also want to remember with gratitude a list of brothers who are not here today. You know, they were busy or caught up with other engagements. Brother Thomas Pinto. And let's continue keeping that track going. Brother Anish John, Brother Joel Tavares, Brother David Ryan, Brother Conrad DeCosta, Brother Agnello Benjamin, Brother Roshan Kerkata, Brother Sabino D'Souza, Brother Francis Gale, Brother Michael Meadow, Brother Len Narona, Brother Baptist Finn, and Brother Sunil Brito. Okay, before we move to the next section, students, how many from Red House? Hands up. Come on, 3. Blue? Yellow is an awesome house. That's where I finished. Okay, we're going to move to the next section, which is to felicitate a set of people without whom the brothers' success would have not been possible. It was their support that actually brought this success, and that would be our entire teachers. May I invite on stage one of our ex-pupils, Chandrasekhar Shetty, from the batch of 1980. And calling on stage first, the lady who made me draw lines in between lines and then practice my handwriting over and over again. You know who I'm talking about, Miss Annie Briganza. You have to say a few words.
All I want to say is that the years spent here, the 27 years spent here in Salvations, were years of fulfillment, years of joy, and years of great grace. And for that, I'm also very grateful for all the students I taught. They were my pride and joy. And I thank God for them, for our brothers especially, and for our teachers. God bless you all.
Next, I'd like to call on stage Ms. Kumud Mukherjee. I'm going to call Milind Murzello next, another ex-student of ours, to felicitate Miss Jessie Correa.
Dear friends, it's a great joy, and the words will not be enough to say anything. Just seeing all of you, his heart is full and filled with happiness. And what I can wish you is all the best for brothers and you all boys who are all over the world. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Very few people know this about the next person I'm about to call, but she taught at Salvation School, I think from the age of 18 or 19, Miss Violet Lobo.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me great joy to be here amongst you all. And as I said, my 40 years at Salvation were the best years of my life. I will never forget Salvation or our Salvation boys. And a big thank you to the brothers here who were in many ways responsible for my formation, because I joined as a teenager, I grew up to an adult, and then I got married. So I was formed by the brothers over here, and I'm very, very grateful to all of them. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
Next on stage, I'd like to call Miss Elizabeth Rodriguez, please. If there's a reason some of us can speak French, it's thanks to you.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to see brothers, teachers, and students. It's really a lovely audience, and I'm so grateful to the good Lord that I was appointed in Salvation School, because I was in Pune. I was under the German Jesuits. I taught in St. Vincent's and under the Convent of Jesus and Mary nuns. And when I came to Salvation, I met Brother Stanmeyer. He says, you've come from prestigious schools, but here our boys are from the very poor homes and all. So I told him, brother, that doesn't matter. I said, I'm ready. If you say I can join tomorrow, I will. And he told me you can join the next day. So I'm very grateful to Brother Stanmeyer and all the other brothers whom I worked with, and also to Brother Sebastian, although I was not under him, as to meet him, and he used to treat me as if I was an ex-staffer. Thank you very much. I wish all the brothers the very best wherever you are in your future endeavors, and good health, and God bless you.
Milind, thank you. I'd like to call Pratik Shah next. Pratik, you've always been here anyway, so. And I'd like to call on stage Miss Agnes Ribeiro.
I'm very grateful for being in Salvation High School, and I've learned a lot under the Christian brothers. I also interacted with all the brothers and the students very well. Thank you.
Well, if there's anyone who traveled by the school bus like I did, you know that there were a few teachers who traveled along with us. So if you were sitting in the third row and before, you behaved yourself, and if you sat in the last bench like I did, well, not so much. I'd like to call on stage one of those teachers who accompanied in the school bus, Ms. Coral Rebello. I don't think the next teacher ever stopped teaching. In fact, she was with us in the undercroft this morning, giving us instructions on how to go decorating the hall. Don't put the stage up like that. Go home and have lunch. Miss Maria D'Souza, we'd like to Up next, I'd like to call Miss Priscilla D'Souza. Thank you, Pradeep. Atmara Maroskar, if we could have you on stage, please, to felicitate Miss Mercy Burzello, headmistress during my time and third standard teacher. Calling on stage next, Miss Ida Sen.
I just want to share something about myself. I was teaching from quite a young age, and then I got married and I had 3 children, and I was very happy. My husband was in the army, and we had a wonderful life. And then before we could reach the 7th year of marriage, my husband died. Till then, I had great faith in God, and I got all the. We used to be the only Catholic couple. My husband was in the army. And we all prayed for a miracle. And I spoke to them and they all were praying. 2 days later, I get a phone call. Come soon, the news about your husband. So I said, miracle, miracle. And we all were so happy, many of them the other day. And that evening, I was unconscious at that time, we all knelt and prayed. That evening, he died. I couldn't take it. I must have been about 25, 27, I don't know. I couldn't take it. That love and I had for God, I thought I was a very holy person. I just turned the other way around. I stopped going to church, I stopped praying. And I had 3 children, 2 years, 3 years, and 5 years. And I couldn't take it. I just knew I couldn't do it. Somehow, my mom and brother came. We were in Hyderabad, brought me to Bombay. And one of my friends came to tell mommy that there's place as a teacher in Salvation. I didn't know where was Salvation or anything. My mommy said, no, she is very weak. I said, no, she'll be better. And so they brought me. And I'll never forget Brother McPhillimy. He wanted to talk to me, so he to come in. And there were about 8 or 10 other ladies who wanted the teaching job. So when I went there, first question he asked me was, Miss, why are you wearing black? I said, I lost my husband. And normally I used to cry. So he said, when? I said, 2 months ago. He said, you have children? I said, yes. I said, how old? I said, 2, 3, and 5. And he was shocked. He stood up and told me, just wait for 2 minutes. And he went to Sister Auntie Sissy, as she was the headmistress, and he told her, please send the others back. I have got the teacher I need. And he gave me this job. And this was Our Lady of Salvation. And Our Lady of Salvation really saved me. She changed me from what I was. I had stopped going to church and everything. But our Christian brothers, which I can never forget, They accepted me as I was. They never gave me any lectures about not going to church and not entering the chapel or anything. They just accepted me and filled me with love. And then I began to feel the love of God. And slowly but surely, I started going back to church. And today, I can't do without my God. And so salvation, I'm always and will be grateful and thankful. I pray every night for all the brothers whom I know and whom I don't know also. God bless you. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call Miss Shirley Rodriguez on stage. Thank you, Edmund. I'd like to call Jay Patel next. And Jay will be facilitating Miss Veera Mascarenas.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank the Christian brothers for all the love and support they have given me down the years. I joined in 1961, much before the Christian brothers came. And on the 15th of March, my second son Mark was born, and on the 17th they arrived. And I've been very, very happy with all the love and affection they have shown me and the support. Thanks, brothers, and especially the brothers down the line, Brother McPhillips, Slattery, Tanmay, Gomes, Brother Wilfred D'Souza, Brother Willie D'Souza, Francis, and all the Christian brothers down the line. Thank you so much.
Calling on stage next, Miss Lydia Phillips. Jay, we'd like you to stay. How many folks love doing PT? PT? You remember doing those free arm exercises followed by yoga, followed by a whole bunch of things. Miss Meena Pathare. Thanks, Jay. Next, I'd like to call another ex-student of ours, Ivor De Costa. And Ivor, if we could have you facilitate Miss Kunda Kanolkar. Miss Anita D'Souza. And Miss Flori Tavares, if we could have Lyndon come up and accept the award on her behalf. I also realized that in the process of felicitating the brothers, we didn't call up brother Cedric Andrade, so if we could have you up, please. And if you could say a few words, brothers.
Hi, good evening. I don't know how I'm getting caught out here. I've not been an ex-student here, nor have I worked here. I've passed through several times. But having come here about in the last week, I was asked to do a bit of work with the teachers and also the brothers. And gathering material, photographs, hearing stories of salvation, I was really deeply moved. And while I was working with the teachers, there's one of the things that I said to them. I said, you have the graveyard beside you, and there are a lot of people there who really contributed. Some of the people there contributed to the school, and they carried a great legacy. And there's one of the things, I'm just going to say one thing in a very short way, that we're really standing on very broad shoulders. When I looked behind the wonderful people like Brother Judge, McPhillimy, and Brother Gibrito Karen, they were wonderful people. They passed on something to us. And as I said to the teachers, I said, I pray and hope that you continue and pass that down onwards. Thank you very much.
We also don't want to forget so many individuals who worked behind the scenes. So they're the people who made sure that we were prepped for opera, that the flags were ironed, that all the nails were put in the right holes, that the pegs were there, everything was painted, the grounds laid out, so on and so forth. May I call Ravindra Palam to felicitate these individuals, starting with George Rodrigues. Always remember Georgie sir as the smiling man behind the desk in the office.
I'm proud to talk here with the crowd so much. I never spoke so much, a big crowd. But I'm glad the ex-students have also called me here, and I appreciate the gift. And thank you very much for the brothers whom I worked with for the past few years. And I learned little or lot, very much with them. And I appreciate that. Thank you everybody.
Miss Rosemary Narona. So whoever prepped for opera definitely went through one of these classes. Miss Felicitation. Continuing with that list is Lakshman Inkar. Could we have you on? As usual, Lakshman's right at the back, but we're going to cheer him as he makes his way to the stage. I'm sure this person is also standing somewhere in the back. Raju Mohite. Chaya Bagade. There she is. Followed closely by Ashok Jadhav. Ashok. Ramesh Kambe. And finally Namdev. If we could have you all up on stage, please. To do the honors, if we could also have on stage Richard Fernandes, our ex-pupil. Every 100-meter track, every 400-meter track, every flag, that's the man responsible. Richard, if we could have you on stage. Could we have Ramesh and Namdev as well, please? We also want to remember with gratitude and thank some of our teachers who could not make it for the function, but to whom we will send mementos to their house. Teacher Maureen D'Souza, Miss Daisy Rastina, Miss Joyce Fernandes, and Miss Priscilla De Mello. Richard, thank you. I'm sorry the two folks whom you were supposed to felicitate didn't show up, but thank you for being here today. With that, we come to the end of the felicitation. I'm going to now hand over to Pratik, and he's going to talk about a set of individuals who are also not here with us today, but we will remember them in a very special way. Pratik?
As children, we spent almost as much as time with our teachers as we did with our parents. We may not remember the definition of polynomial or which war was fought in what year, but we do remember how they inspired us and influenced us. When a teacher passes away, we continue to cherish these memories and how they believed in us. We now take a moment to remember all our brothers and teachers who have passed on and relive some of our favorite memories with them.
Please welcome on stage the band that's going to perform some classic songs from operas that you might have heard, as well as some old-time favorites. Please put your hands together for the band.
This is the mixed band from various batches, different years, right from 1970s to the 90s. Okay, so we've prepared a bunch of, we've not had much time to practice, but so bear with us, but we're going to do most of the songs from the operas, right? And so if you do remember it, please sing along. Okay, for the first song, it's from the opera that I did when I passed out my last year in school, and I'm just going to sing it. Probably you know it's from The Wiz. So some of my batchmates there will remember. I don't know about the younger generation; they may not have heard this song, but it's from The Wiz.
The path that you must go.
opera Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Okay, the next one is not from any opera, but since it's a school and it involves education, this song goes out to all of you.
slowly go by and feed them on your dreams. The ones they picked, the ones you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and you know they'll love you, and you know they'll love you, and you know they'll love you.
Okay, the next song is again not from the opera, but I remember the song ever since I was a kid. It goes out, the credit goes to an ex-brother, Brother De Mello. And so this song, I'm sure most of you Christian brothers will remember. Song and then we take a break because there's another event in between. So the next one is Fool on the Hill. It was a song done at the opera called Christopher Columbus. So some of you will remember this. We have Sean here who's going to sing the song.
the count of 3, 2, 1.
This evening, on behalf of the brothers, thank all the priests, particularly the parish priests who've been the manager and trustees of the school from day one to present, Father Barthol Machado. Thank you very much for all the support and help. Thanks, Father. Our gratitude goes out this evening to all the parishioners of Our Lady of Salvation Church. Wonderful people have supported us in many, many ways, and we cannot thank them enough. Thank you very much. God bless you all. We have been having wonderful neighbors, that's in the form of sisters from the convent school who have always been helping us. Thanks sisters from Convent Girls High School as well as Mount Mary's. And we cannot forget the assistance that we always get from the Montfort brothers. Thanks to them as well. Individuals, brothers, we can have talents, but we need a team. And that team has been a group of teachers from day one to now. Thanks to all the retired teachers and the present teachers for your support, for your time, energy and enthusiasm. We have no words to express our gratitude, but just saying thanks to all of you for the work that you have been doing with us. And I can only request on behalf of the brothers, please continue the spirit. Life is a circle, and it goes on and on and on. If the next chord is not played, the next note will not come on. If the lights don't go off, the next person cannot come on stage. If the curtains doesn't come down, the next play cannot happen. And these are all mysteries of life. And so is, as much as all of us feel sad to leave this place, this is a wonderful way of God's working with us. And therefore, we revere this place. We, the brothers, revere this place. And that is why we did that vow to all of you, to God, to all the people around. Thank you very much. And finally, I want to thank all the ex-pupils gathered around here and many more around the world who are watching this show as it happens. We have no words to thank you. I know all of you are present here, but about 50 to 100 core team has put this event together. Endless number of meetings, endless number of phone calls, and don't ask me what all things they did. They told me to stay out of it. Now and then something came into my ear and that was it. But as you witnessed, it has been a fantastic show this evening. And we can only say from the bottom of our hearts, we love you, ex-pupils and current pupils. From the brothers, we love you all. Thanks so much for all that you are doing. And again, it's our request to you. It's our request to you. Continue the spirit of Edmund Rice. God bless and good night.
As a sign of our love and gratitude, the next quartet will now do the Irish blessing set to music. This quartet comprises Trini from the 1983 batch, Sean from 1996, Shannon from 2001, and Garfield from 2002. They will be singing this piece in a very close and peculiar 4-part harmony called Barbershop. Over to you.
Hello, check. Okay, as he mentioned, it's an Irish blessing. It's a folk song, a folk blessing in Ireland. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your feet. And until we meet again, may He hold you in His hand. May God hold you in the palm of His, hold you in the palm of His hands. God bless you, friends.
We now call upon Father Fitzgerald Fernandes to lead us in saying the grace before meals. We may request you all to stand up.
Good evening, friends. Brother Provincial, my dear brothers and my dear teachers, before we begin our prayer, I wish to thank on your behalf once again as we break bread this evening. A big thank you to our dear brothers for a mission very well accomplished over the last 51 years. What Dadar was in the 60s and what it is today is a world of a difference. Every time I come to Dadar, I fail to recognize my roots, as it were. But happy to be here this evening. And my dear brothers, a very big thank you on behalf of all of us, my dear teachers, for a mission that was very well indeed accomplished and will continue, as you rightly said, Brother Sebastian, will continue to be fulfilled. We spend a moment in silence as we pray for what we are about to receive. Let us truly be thankful to those who planted the crops, to those who cultivated the fields, and to those who gathered the harvest. For what we are about to receive, let us be truly thankful to those who prepared it and those who will serve it. In this celebration, we remember Blessed Edmund Weiss and his confreres, the Congregation of Christian Brothers. In sharing this meal tonight, let us truly be thankful for the good things we have received and will continue to receive, for the warm hospitality and for this good company. For all that was, thank you. For all that is to come from the hands of the Almighty, we say a big yes as we pray. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty, to Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God bless you, and bon appetit. Thank you.
The brothers are going to now sing the grace all together. Please come up on stage. You guys can hold on standing.
Protect and defend you. May He always shield you
So brothers, we have a tribute song for you. So I request everybody to just wait on for 2 minutes when we sing this song. In fact, we were going to do it last, but I think now is the appropriate time. It's to the tune of Thank You for the Music. It's an ABBA song, but the lyrics to the song has been written by Miss Listra Muzello. Okay, so all credit to Listra. Listra, please stand. Where are you? Wave out.
Years ago that you came to Salvation School, you taught us our lessons and helped us to abide by the rules. The guidance and counsel we received every day, and now with one voice we all want to say, we're so grateful and proud. All we want is to sing it out loud. So we say thank you, dear brothers. We congratulate you. It's also time to bid you adieu. Our years at school we cherish. We know in honesty, what would life be? We applaud.